Peace in a real way. This is something that I noticed. Um, it's just another example of how things are so different between men and women, and why it's so imperative that we have an understanding for the dynamic between us. So I was in a text chat yesterday, like a group chat, and they were talking about the whole Russell Wilson versus Future thing, and what's really a good guy. And I'm like, I'm trying to get people to understand, like, that's a fantasy. Like, there's no such thing as a good guy. Like, women like what they like while they like it until they like something else, and that's okay. Like that, so they may give a number of different types of guys a try, you know what I'm saying? But that doesn't mean, this guy is the good guy, or that he's, by behaving in a particular way, he's entitled to some sort of attention and shit. Like, that shit is backwards. So, at the same time, it is true, though, when a woman thinks she has a type, goes for that type, and is not receiving the results that she would desire, you can say pick better men. You know what I mean? Like, and maybe it's not pick better men, but make better decisions. You know what I mean? In regard to your men. So I saw a woman. She was actually, this guy put up a TikTok and he was saying how, by dealing with ain't shit women, a lot of dudes, will suffer all kinds of traumas. You know what I mean? Even physical traumas, where, like, erectile dysfunction and shit, because of the psychological damage that these bitches have put upon them or whatever. And the chick, she stitched in and she said, well, pick better women. It doesn't really apply the same way, because men, we don't get to pick y'all. We can shoot our shot at whoever, but y'all get the last say so as to, who gets chosen, who doesn't get chose. You know what I'm saying? So for the average man, outside of niggas like, millionaires and shit like that, but even millionaires then, like, them niggas still gotta shoot their shot, like, for the most part, like, but, we're talking about average guys. So, the average guy, he's doing all the approaching. So even if he approaches 30 women, and out of that 30 women in one day, which y'all would judge him for approaching 30 women in one day, but, if he's lucky enough to come across 30 women he finds attractive in that day, and he's, it doesn't even matter. But if he approaches or shoots a shot at 30 women in a day, honestly, one of the motherfuckers might show some honest interest. You know what I'm saying? And if that one motherfucker ain't shit, he can't really say, you can't really say pick better women. Like, he's picking all women. You know what I'm saying? And if y'all ain't shit, then y'all ain't shit. See, this is the thing. And it's proven how y'all got those memes and those posts where y'all say, oh, if you didn't want to do this with me, then why did you even talk to me in the first place? Or if you wasn't going to do this, then why did you even talk to me in the first place? Because I didn't know you wasn't shit until after I talked to you. Like, what world do y'all live in? If you wasn't going to do this, then, you should have never, if you was going to do this, then why didn't you should have did this in the first place? Or why did you even waste my time? And I wasted my time too. I thought you was going to be thorough. I'm disappointed too. Shit. You think I'm happy that you ain't shit? I gotta start from square one. But see, that's the thing. Once a motherfucker has put in a certain amount of groundwork and time in, that's when they'll be like, well, at least, I might as well at least fuck the bitch, because I done spent all this time. You know what I'm saying? And then you realize, like, even after you have sex with her, she don't have no redeeming qualities. Like, the sex is not enough to keep you around. Sex is not enough to make you entertain whatever other shit she's got going on with her. So now you're like, oh, well, if all you wanted was the sex, you should have said that from the beginning. From the beginning, I didn't know that was all I wanted. I didn't know that was all you had. I would take everything you have. I would accept everything you have if you had more. But if you don't have more, what am I supposed to do? And then that goes back to the dudes trying to ass off the bed. Okay, so now we're gonna satisfy that question by saying, okay, we'll ask y'all off the rip, what do you bring to the table? And then y'all bitch about that. Because we're trying to figure out if you're worth the time first, and then you won't have to waste. You don't feel like you're getting your time wasted. But you'll bitch about that too. Oh, I've never been asked this before. That's because the nigga didn't want shit from you. But a nigga who's looking at the future, he want to know, how do you bring value to me? Besides laying up and receiving. You know? And it's a valid question. Because if you could question whatever is your interest, you know, if you feel like, oh, what do you know, if you feel like you on a date and you want to ask a guy what he does for a living, or how many kids he has, or what's his goals, these are the things that interest you. So you're allowed to ask your interests or about your interests. And what if he was to say, oh, you know, you're turning me off with them questions, you know, as opposed to, what if he's interested in sex? I mean, he asks you about sex. You will be turned off by that. But you can ask about what you're interested in, but he can't ask about what he's interested in. Make it make sense. Y'all only on the date based upon the physical attraction in the first place, right? Or at least one way. If it's not mutual, at least it's, you know, his physical attraction made him ask you out. You probably only there to get a free dinner or something. I don't know. I don't know what y'all be thinking. Try not to presume what people think. I just observe what people do. You know, I veered off. I'll probably feel this way. I don't know. I might chop it. We'll see. Peace.